Hello, everybody. This is author J.W. Holmes doing the first podcast for the comic book series, The Nordic. Probably be a brief podcast, just getting my feet wet with doing this. But I think it's a good way to reach fans. Of course, we'll have stuff on YouTube. We'll probably be doing video podcasting here soon. I just got out of bed not too long ago, so kind of sitting in my jammies. Don't want to be doing a video podcast here this morning, but just a brief introduction on the comic book series, The Nordic. Get you acclimated with the idea of it coming out here later this year in 2012. It's been in development really since last summer in 2011 when I released my fictional sci-fi book called The Nordic, and developed a fan base around that. Got a lot of emails saying, hey, this should be on TV, or this should be in a comic book series, something visual. And just to give you a little background real quick on what The Nordic is, it's a sci-fi story about a main character whose name's William Davidson, lives in Surrey, England, over in the UK. And I did that on purpose because it seemed like a lot of good sci-fi stuff was coming out of the UK. And it's just an absolutely beautiful market for sci-fi. And I noticed some production companies were doing a lot of sci-fi work over there. It's kind of a test market before it came back over to the States, but it didn't really matter. When I pitched the Nordic first to BBC and also to Sky over in the UK. Of course, again, I did that on purpose to kind of get it in there as kind of a test market to see how it was going to go. But upon never really getting anything done with that, just decided to release the book, and it did pretty well. But since getting the feedback and getting things in development for the comic book series, I've decided to pull the book, and it's actually being rewritten right now and re-edited to launch again probably closer to the release of the comic book series. Everything's going to happen pretty much at once. Might happen this summer, might happen in the fall. Just kind of depends on how things develop. But everything's going pretty okay. And hooked up with comic book artist Mark Breyer, who's done a lot of stuff in the past, and interviewed a lot of people to get to him. He's really an ingenious artist. Really brings the characters to life. Really is on board with what the Nordic is all about. And I think just him and I as partners on this is just going to be a good team to develop around. The story of the Nordic really revolves around the main character, William Davidson, like I said, who lives over in Surrey, England. He has more alien DNA in him than he actually knows. There's a race out there called the Nordics. A lot of people have heard about the Greys and other races. Well, the Nordic is another race that just kind of came out of Northern Europe, and where life really shouldn't have started, really, but somehow these humanoids came down from the cold tundra of the north in Europe, and the story just kind of revolves around them. And William's teamed up with his mentor, who's Bertil, and he is actually a full-fledged Nordic alien. And he acts as a mentor towards William. Everything just kind of fell into place DNA-wise within William, and he's just trying to learn all of his abilities and all that, while at the same time uncovering truths about the human race that have been kept secret by governments and the church and whatever, who used to be in power, way before, kings like King Henry VIII and all them started taking power away from the church. And so anyway, while he's doing that, he's also running from the U.S. military, who is kind of trespassing on, English soil. The men in black are after him secretly, and the military is trying to fight them off because they want to get to William first. And he's also, kind of doing battle with a lot of nefarious alien races out there who don't get along with the Nordics, I guess. But the Nordics are definitely the good guys, and they're just trying to, keep things on Earth as peaceful as possible, and William's their big chance to get that done. When I developed the Nordic last year, it was really kind of a combination between three different series that were going on, three different science fiction enterprises that were doing extremely well. Three of my favorites anyway, which included Stargate 1, the Stargate series altogether. Atlantis was in that. And also Doctor who I've been a fan of since the 70s. Not to give away my age or anything, but Tom Baker is probably my favorite Doctor Who. And he just kind of, sealed the deal for me on being a Doctor Who fan. And it also included the X-Files. So it's kind of all three of them wrapped up into one, which makes for a very interesting storyline and something that can go on and on and on. It goes into how the human race really developed on Earth. It talks about how a lot of us on Earth really probably aren't even from here, and it makes us start to question a lot of things. But it's all done in fun. It's like I say, it's a science fiction story. Try not to take it too seriously, but you can if you want, because it's all based on speculations that are kind of revolving out there. Here in 2012, we're kind of at the head of all these alien conspiracies that are out there, mainly because of December 21st. We're all waiting to see if what happens on that date, if anything. But so I think this year's the most popular year that we could possibly launch this series. If we waited till 2013 or if we did it in 2011, I think the timing just would have been wrong. So we decided to do it in 2012. We're coming out with our guns fully loaded, and we're going to be blasting away like crazy with the Nordic later on this year. Right now, Mark and I are working on imagery for the Nordic. We have been since, I guess I want to say probably about February or March. Looking at the preliminary sketches that Mark's developed, and with me redoing the book, which is being, like I say, re-edited, and that'll come out when the series is launched. We're getting the Facebook page, the website, just all that, nice marketing stuff out there. And pretty soon, I'd say probably within the next 3 to 4 months, we should be seeing the first issue of the Nordic. And with these podcasts, I'll be able to keep you updated as to what's going on with the development of the Nordic, and give you a better range of where you can see that first issue. The book, the Nordic, I do have planned to launch over the summer. There's a lot of books I have coming out this year, but the Nordic is obviously the prime project, so we'll be focused on that wholeheartedly. Right now, I'm just going to let you kind of digest all that, and I'll be putting up more podcasts, hopefully this week. And of course, you can also visit me at my website at authorjwholmes.com. You can also find me on Facebook under jwholmes.com. Mark Breyer's on Facebook as well. You can find him on there. And he's got his websites out there too if you want to see some of his artwork. And of course, any kind of feedback you want to give us or anything, any questions you want me to answer in these podcasts, please feel free to send them to me at jwholmes2011 at rocketmail.com. I also have a contact page on my website at authorjwholmes.com if you have questions about the series. Be more than happy to answer those questions and give me more to talk about in these podcasts. For now, I'm going to sign off and be looking for the Nordic to come out later this year, like I say, and hope to meet a lot of the listeners out there online and get to know you as well. Thanks.